So hello everyone, today we will see this question that was asked in yesterday's problem of the day. So the question says boundary traversal of a binary tree. Okay, so the question is we are given a binary tree. So what is a binary tree? Binary tree is a tree that have at most two children and we have to find its boundary traversal. Now see what are boundary traversal. So what is boundary? So this, 25, 22, all are the part of boundary of this tree. And we want to do the traversal of boundary. But the order is already given to us. That is, we first want to travel the left boundary nodes, then the leaf nodes, and then the reverse right boundary nodes. That is, first we will traverse all the left boundary nodes, that is this, then all the leaf nodes, this, then all the right nodes, that is 22. So basically what are the leaf boundary nodes? रूट से लेके लीफ नोड तक हमारे पास किसी भी लेवल के जो भी लेफ्ट मोस्ट नोड है दैट इज द लेफ्ट मोस्ट बाउंड्री एलिमेंट. नाउ व्हाट इज द राइट मोस्ट बाउंड्री एलिमेंट? लीफ रूट से लेके लीफ तक जो भी हमारे पास किसी भी लेवल पे राइट मोस्ट नोड है दैट इज अ राइट बाउंड्री नोड. एंड व्हाट आर द लीफ नोड्स? नोड्स जो कि जिनके कोई चिल्ड्रन नहीं है, दैट इज दे डोंट हैव एनी सब ट्री, दैट इज 4, 10, 14 and 25. So see what are the left nodes here? 28, 4, 10. Leaf nodes 4, 10, 14, 25. Rightmost nodes 20, 22 and 25. So you can see the elements are repeating themselves, right? But in the resultant vector, we don't want any duplicate. That is, if a node already has occurred in the left boundary node, then we will not include that in the leaf node. So basically, if we see, we can divide this question into simple three parts. That is, we first want to do the left boundary traversal, then the leaf traversal, and then the reverse right boundary traversal. So see, when we are traversing the left boundary nodes, we will just see if that node is a leftmost node in a binary tree and this is not a leaf node. Then we will simply push it into the vector. That is, 8 is a leftmost node and also not a leaf node. 4 is a leftmost node but is also a leaf node. So we will not put into the vector because we will put it into the leaf nodes vector. Then in the another function, we will store all the leaf nodes. That is, which doesn't have any children. That is 4, 10, 14, 25. And then in the right traversal, we will traverse all the right boundary nodes and we want to traverse in the reverse. That is in this direction. So basically our traversal is in the anti-clockwise direction, like this, then this, then this, then this and this. Okay. Now let us try to write the code. See, first of all, we want to return a vector. So let us make a vector that we will return it. Let's name this vector result. Now first of all, we want all the left boundary nodes. So first we will call the function for the left boundary nodes. So we will define the function, don't worry, but let us just call the function and we will send the left node as a parameter and this resultant vector to store the result. Then after we have traversed the left boundary nodes, the next step is to traverse all the leaf nodes. Then we will call the leaf nodes function. Now we can call leaf nodes two times, one for the left subtree and another for the right subtree. So let us print all the leaf nodes. for the left subtree, and now let us print the leaf nodes for the right subtree. Then after that we want all the right boundary nodes. So we will call another function that will print all the right boundary nodes. Okay, and we will simply return our vector. Now let us implement these functions. So see, for the left boundary function, we are not returning anything, we will just modify the resultant vector only. So first parameter we are getting is a root node, and the another parameter that I am getting is a resultant vector, and I want to save the changes to the same vector. So that's why I will pass it by reference, so that whatever changes I will make in this function can get reflected here also. Now see, this is a recursive call. So let us write the base condition. If root is null, that is, if the root is null, then we don't want to do anything. Otherwise, we will see if its left child exists. See, we want to traverse the left boundary nodes. So we have to prefer the left subtree over the right subtree. So first of all, we'll check for its left child, that if its left child exists. That is, if its left child is not null, that is, it means exists, then we'll simply push it into a vector and would recursively call for the next left node. Now what if the left node doesn't exist for this root node? Then we can check for the leftmost node in its right subtree. So we will check if its right subtree exists or not. So if it is not equals to null, that is, it exists, then we will simply push it into the vector and we will call the recursive function for its right child now. Okay. Now let us implement the function for the leaf nodes. So the definition would be same as left boundary, accepting root node and a vector to store the result. Now let us see the base condition. If root is null, then we don't want to do anything. Otherwise, see, for the leaf nodes, we need to traverse from left to right. So first of all, we will make the recursive call for the left subtree. And after that, we will just check for the condition if it is a leaf node. That is, if its left is null and its right is also null. Then we can simply push this root's data into a vector. Now after the left subtree, we will check for the right subtree. So we will send its right child as a parameter now. And that's all. Now we have implemented the leaf nodes also. Now we will implement the right boundary nodes. So see, this is void right boundary, and we are accepting the root node and a vector. Now see, we will write same base condition, that is, if root is null, then we don't want to do anything. After that, we will check for its right child. Now while printing for the right boundary, we have to prefer the right subtree over the left subtree. So in the first step, we will check if its right child exists. if its right child exists, then we will see. While printing the left boundary nodes, I first pushed the data into a vector and then made the recursive call, because I want to print the data in the top-down manner, that is 28, 4. But while printing the right boundary nodes, I want it in the reverse order, that is 14, 25, 22 and 20, kind of this. So that's why we are going to do the bottom-up manner, that is first we will make a recursive call and then we will insert it into a vector. So right node would be accepted as a parameter, resultant node, and then after that you just push it. Now if its right child does not exist, then we will see for the rightmost node in its left subtree. So for that we also have to check if its right child exists or not. So we'll just put this condition and we can see if it exists. Then we would call recursive function for the left child and then simply push it into a vector. Okay, and now if I run this, let us see, does it have any error or is it successful? So okay, I have written wrong spelling for null in line 126. Okay. So the compilation is successful. Let us submit it. So this has not passed this test case. Let us see why. So let's check the left boundary function. Okay. See, I haven't pushed the root node. So in the first step, first of all, I have to push the root node and then I have to move further. Let us check other things. Left boundary, the root node done. Left child we have matched and we have seen the right thing also. Let us now run it. So the compilation is successful. So the problem is successfully submitted. So I just forgot to push the root data into a vector. So why did we did this? Because when we are calling the function left boundary, then we are passing the leftmost node as a parameter. Leaf nodes may also we are passing the leftmost node and the rightmost node, and then in the right boundary also we are passing the right child. So the root node doesn't include it in the resultant vector, so we are including it manually here. So that was all about this problem. Let us discuss its time complexity. See, in every function we are traversing every node once, so the time complexity would be big of n, where n is the number of nodes, and this was the time complexity that was expected also. So I guess this is clear to you all. Any doubts, you can comment down. Thank you.